Drake has a 1-point lead after a quarter at 23-22 on the Berg layup to end the first period of play.
Well, the Bulldogs and Iowa shooting very, very well, high percentage, over 50%.
The paint has been successful. The three-point shot has not been, as we take a look at Lisa Brinkmeyer, former Bulldog with the Bulldog hat. Jan Jensen, former teammate, now a Hawkeye assistant coach. With her, Ted Vendevetter, the husband of Lisa Brinkmeyer, out there with her. And she's had quite a battle with brain cancer, and therefore the T-shirts for Brink's bench. And a stirring moment here.
Tell you what, if anybody's going to do it, Brink's going to battle hard and come out on the right end.
The Bulldogs are, in fact, wearing Brink's bench T-shirts in honor of Lisa Brinkmeyer.
Iowa coaching staff wearing those gray T-shirts as well. It say Brink's bench as they coached her, and then she get to see Coach Bluter with her Brink's bench T-shirt on. Coached her as a player, and Brink battled injuries her entire career, but also was on the coaching staff with them here at Drake.
Feeds Czinano inside, and she has another chance at an and one after maybe a bit of a slow start. She really has picked it up now, has 10 points. I don't believe she scored for the first 4 minutes, but since then has really made up for it.
She's done a good job of finding the open spot, and what a great feed by Warnock. Just a nice little bounce pass between two defenders.
So Czinano has 10 points early, making it 11. And the Hawkeyes, after trailing at the end of the quarter, lead to start the second quarter. One more thing about the Hawkeye coach connection and Lisa Brinkmeyer. They have remained very loyal to her, visited her a lot in the summer, especially when she went to Iowa City for a lot of her treatments. It's been a great relationship as Dinnerbeer knocks down the three for the Bulldogs.
Well, we knew it was going to be this kind of a ball game, back and forth. These two teams never let us down. They always play a very spirited game.
Break by one in the basketball early in the second quarter. Miller puts the ball to the floor against Czinano, takes it right to her, and a travel is called on Miller. Czinano's defense gets some credit there.
And moving the feet, and Miller decided she was going to put the ball on the floor and going to challenge Czinano. Just could not get it done. Nice pass inside, and then the block.
I think one of the things the Bulldogs have established early is they're going to take it to Czinano and not be intimidated by her size and her presence.
And they have not yet been able to get her in any kind of foul trouble here early in the first half. She's been very smart about how she's moving her feet.
Martin at the top of the circle, being guarded by Gildner. Once again, Dinnerbeer paired off with Clark, who steps back, misfires on the three, and Berg has the rebound. The trailer is Berg. Bulldogs work inside early, and then they try to be successful outside. Dinnerbeer shows it, drives inside, scores it, and gets fouled. Another move by Katie Dinnerbeer.
That's something that she has perfected throughout her entire career. She just is not afraid to go in and absorb some contact, is able to maintain control and scoop it up and under.
And it is Caitlin Clark committing the foul. So Katie Dinnerbeer, who does what she needs to do in terms of scoring, didn't need to score a lot the other night against Green Bay, got 6 points. She's already had 9 thus far tonight.
You know, I think Dinnerbeer is a player that understands the opponent, understands the competition, and knows what she needs to do to help her team win. And if it's distributing the basketball, then that's what it's going to be.
Clark to Czinano, and the moves that Czinano has under the basket are extremely impressive.
Yeah, she just is very agile underneath and can go with either hand.
Dropped a little bit of weight in the offseason, made her just a little bit quicker. Travel is called on Megan Meyer, and the Bulldogs have committed their 7th turnover. And Iowa with 4 turnovers. Allison Pullman in her second year on the Bulldog bench. Dinnerbeer chasing Clark. Clark finds Czinano, working against the freshman as the Bulldogs trying to guard her with freshman Tatum Gray from Lenexa, Kansas at 6'2", and it is Gray who commits the foul.
Bulldogs had changed up and picked up man-to-man. Berg coming in from the backside to try to get the block.
Czinano, a good free throw shooter. Perfect in 4 tries so far this afternoon.
Uh-oh.
And she already has 14 points. Got 27 the last time she was on this floor 2 years ago against the Bulldogs. And she misses one after hitting her first floor. Sarah Beth Gildner, who's an outstanding three-point shooter, handling the basketball. Lobs it inside. Bird with a quick pitch. And then the drive by Meyer, and from behind she scores, and from behind she gets fouled by Gabby Marshall.
That's twice that Megan Meyer has cut backdoor and been hit with a great pass. And you have to go out and guard her, and she read that perfectly. She was on the move. Marshall lost sight of her, and she was able to get by her.
And you never know how a player is going to react when they face their former teammates. Well, Meyer has done everything that I'm sure she would hope to do against her former teammates.
Yeah, she, you know, it's always, you always have these questions, and you wonder how your teammates, former teammates, are going to react to you when you're out on the floor. But you know, once that ball is thrown up and tipped for the first time, everything goes away and you just play basketball.
Some players get the nerves, they can't get the job done. Terrific effort from behind by Bird to tip it away from Czinano.
Yeah, she saw that coming and was at the free throw line and hustled down from behind, able to tip it away. You can see they're playing in the front. They are fronting. Czinano got the backside help that time.
McCauley gets a hand on it and knocks it out of bounds. 22 on the shot clock as Iowa will inbound. Kate Martin, the senior from Edwardsville, Illinois. Last year averaged 7 points a ball game, 5 rebounds to lead the Bluters team. Again, a deflection by McCauley. 2 deflections, and the Bulldogs get the turnover. Pulled down by Tatum Gray. McCauley drives the baseline, puts it up and misses it, and the rebound is taken by Martin. Hawkeyes down by 3. Clark goes inside against Dinnebeer. Can't finish, but gets her own rebound and will bring it back out and try it again and miss again. She's now missed 3 in a row. Gray with the rebound for the Bulldogs. Dinnebeer, hesitation dribble, gets to the baseline. Finds an open Gray at the top of the circle. Bulldogs now have McCauley getting the ball inside, and Grace's passing has been very sharp as Grace Berg gets her second basket.
Passing has been very good, and the rotations have been very good. The cuts have been very sharp.
Martin misses from long range, and a three-point try out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Pinpoint passes, able to complete it.
Breaks Anna Miller getting extended playing time while Bear is on the bench with 2 fouls. And Sarah Beth Gildner knocks down her first basket of the ball game, and the Bulldogs are now on an 8-0 run. And a timeout will be taken by the Hawkeyes. Drake with an 8-0 run. Bulldogs enjoying their biggest lead of the afternoon at 5:54 left to play in the first half. So early was Caitlin Clark for Iowa. She got 7 of their first 9 points. Since then, 14 unanswered points by Monica Czinano.
Well, and this is how she's been doing it. The Bulldogs have fronted her, have not gotten the backside help, and she's able to convert and move without the basketball. She does such a great job of making herself available for her teammates. And then Dinnebeer on the other side for the Bulldogs, stepping back, knocking down the 3, running the break, getting a little kiss off the rim and an assist off the rim to get the 2.
Bulldogs led in scoring by Dinnebeer with 9, and we mentioned Czinano with 14, leading the way for the Hawkeyes. Iowa really hasn't played from behind all season with 2 blowout victories over Southern and Evansville, so they're finding themselves in an unaccustomed position early in this one. From the corner, it's Martin looking for the 3 ball, and the rebound is batted right back to Martin, but it knocked away from her. It's loose. Driving to the floor forward is Gildner to save it for Drake. And Meyer comes up with a loose basketball. Megan Meyer, 3 out of 6 shooting the basketball thus far. Bulldogs as a team, 15 out of 25, 60%. Iowa at 46%, 11 of 24. Dinnebeer falls down as that time she got tied up with Davis, and the shot won't go for 3, and the rebound comes to Hannah Stolke. Off the baseline, the score by Clark.
That's just tough to stop. Everybody goes to the other side of the floor. They let Clark go one-on-one.
Gildner, 2 in a row from behind the three-point line.
When she gets hot, she gets hot. Clark trying for the answer, but couldn't get it.
And Courtney Becker's there to clear down the rebound. Becker off the bench with her 3rd rebound. Again, Miller with extended playing time while Bear remains on the bench. Becker looking for McCauley. Nearly a steal by Clark. McCauley gets it back, and then she gets fouled by Martin.
McCauley with those long arms, able to maintain control of that basketball. Gildner with the 3. And when she's in a rhythm like this, they want to find her, try to get her open so she can get the clean looks.
Gildner, 31% from the three-point line last year. She feels, and the Bulldog coaches agree, a much better shooter than that. And so far this year, she's been much better behind the arc.
Just almost looks more comfortable this season. Maybe not pressing as much as she was a year ago.
Dinnebeer with a kick. Bergenmeyer replaced Dinnebeer and Becker in the Bulldog lineup. Berg 4 rebounds in addition to her 8 points. She also has an assist and a steal. Molly Davis, 5'7" senior from Midland, Michigan. Again, played 3 years at Central Michigan. Here's Clark, one-on-one against Gildner. Gildner fouls her.
Well, they know what to do. They get the ball in the hands of Clark, let her go one-on-one. She is so tough to stop when she puts the ball on the floor, protects it as she goes against 2 defenders and powers it up to the glass.
We asked Lisa Bluter earlier today, is there anything at this point that surprises you about Caitlin Clark? And she says, never her baskets, but often her passes.
She is a great passer. She does a great job. Everybody thinks of her as a scorer because that's kind of the highlight reel that everybody sees in her range, that she can knock them down from anywhere on the floor, but she is an excellent passer.
McCauley beat the Hawkeye defense, got an open 3, couldn't finish it, and Marshall comes the other direction. Clark,
oh, what a
Czinano
pass!
Screen. Clark with the pick and roll to Czinano, who scores her 16th point of the first half.
And that comes from playing together for so long. That was just, she didn't even look. She knew she was going to be there and puts the ball between 2 defenders right to Czinano.
You can almost see that play coming, couldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, it was an easy setup. She pointed to, give me the screen up top, and you roll to the basket.
Gildner looking for some help against the defensive Davis. Davis has her all bottled up and gets the 5-second call.
Bulldogs just could not shake loose of that defense to try to get open to save Gildner.
Dinnebeer back in to play the point, and Tayden Gray, the 6'2" freshman for the Bulldogs, in to play the middle. And now let's see if the Hawkeyes try to use the inexperience of Gray and work the ball into Czinano. They've done it without Gray in the lineup anyway.
They're both down there leaning on one another as 2 centers would do to try to get position and gain the advantage.
Marshall can't finish. Gildner's got the rebound. Breakout rebounding, Iowa so far. Berg works against Stuelke. Puts a move on her, goes to the baseline, tries to reverse inside, and the ball batted out of bounds by Clark. So 15 seconds for the Bulldogs to shoot at 2:54 left to play in the first half.
And Grace Berg trying to take advantage of the freshman, see if she could get her on the baseline, but a good job of shutting it down.
Gildner works it to Dinnebeer. Again, Davis has got the defense on her. They clear for Dinnebeer. She comes down the lane, puts up a shot, and scores it with 1 on the shot clock. Katie Dinnebeer, great court presence. She's got 11 early. Clark tries to answer it the other direction. She can't off the rim, and the rebound is grabbed by Tayden Gray. Bulldogs fast breaking. Pass for Dinnebeer, and Clark and Dinnebeer collide. Lisa Bluter quite angrily standing up and wanting a foul called on Dinnebeer.
The officials are going to confer, and they're going to say nobody saw a clear shot of it, and so it's the call is going to stand.
Lisa Bluter pleading her case.
Hard to tell there. if Dinnebeer did touch it at the end.
Shot from the corner won't go by Geltner. And an offensive foul is called on Dinnebeer.
Well, things are getting intense here in the first half, and these two teams have played against one another for a long, long time, and it is always a very heated rivalry, and it's always a great game.
And of course, whether the ball was in or out, that occurred right in front of Lisa Bluder. She thought she had just as good an angle as the officials did.
Well, if anybody did, she did. She was right there.
Clark for three. 5 of 11 for three coming into the game. Travel. And the ball goes back to Drake.
So Davis snuck in and got the steal, and these guards for Iowa have a tendency to do that. They'll hang around, try to get that inbound pass, and looks like the official thought she drug her foot once she picked it up.
Ashley Iams, the 6'1 sophomore from Ames, onto the court for the Bulldogs. Berg with a pitch for Gray. Gray looking for three. Right underneath is Iams to clean it up and score for Gray.
Backside or weak side rebounder in Iams, and she was right there, nobody to contest it.
Lob inside, Czinano works inside against the freshman, and Gray commits the foul. That'll be her second. Czinano right back to the line, where she has already been 5 times this afternoon and hit 4 of them.
Well, just like the Bulldogs were going to work the inside and work the paint, Iowa now is going inside to Czinano, and look at those two battle. And Gray did just dip those hands a little bit. Got a piece of Czinano, who goes back to the free throw line.
Czinano, described by her coach as incredibly, unbelievably consistent.
Well, when you're shooting 70%, that's pretty darn consistent.
Yes,
but she is good, and you had mentioned the fact that she dropped a little weight over the summer and can get up and down the floor a little bit, is a little bit more toned and stronger, and that's just going to help the Hawkeyes down the stretch.
So 35 of the Hawkeyes, 39 points scored by Clark Czinano. That 1-2 punch. Dinnebeer into the paint. Looks for help. Lobs it inside to Miller. Miller off the rim. Czinano high for the rebound. Czinano with her 4th rebound.
Boy, they got the mismatch that time and could not make anything out of it, and the Hawks push it down the floor.
Selke converts at the other end. So a moment ago, Drake's 7-point lead now shaved to a pair. On top, it's Berg, guarded by the freshman Stolke. Tries to break her down, goes into the lane, gets her own rebound, puts it up and in.
It's one thing the Bulldogs are doing very well. They're staying after it. They're staying after the missed shots, getting their own offensive rebounds and putbacks.
So far, Iowa's out-rebounded opponents this year 51-22, and again, against lesser competition, but the Bulldogs have had the better end of it on the rebounding category.
They've really made that a priority here in this ball game in the first half, to go to the glass on both ends.
Hawkeyes play for the last shot. Less than a second difference between the shot clock and the first half clock. They love it in Clark's hands. They get it in Clark's hands. This time she misses. Rebound grabbed by Meyer, and Drake will take a 4-point lead to the locker room at halftime. It's high scoring, just like we expected. It's intense, just like we expected. And halftime, Bulldogs by 4.
It's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments both teams make in the locker room here at halftime, because they're going to come out with maybe a little bit different game plan, but what's worked for Drake and what's worked for Iowa, pretty good so far.
Absolutely. At halftime, it's a 4-point Drake lead. It's straight 45 and Iowa 41.